So apparently we have a beef to talk about, so let's jump right into it. What is up, Finn fans? Yes, this happened yesterday, and maybe I should have talked about this yesterday, but I had someone I had to talk to yesterday. If you haven't watched it yet, one-on-one interview with Vince Beagle, super cool guy, talks about a fundraiser he's doing. Be sure to go check out yesterday's video. But yes, something happened yesterday, and I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it for multiple reasons, and then one of you guys sent me a package. So I'm going to open that package for a comment of the day. But yes, Devante Parker and Michael Thomas got into a little bit of a little pitter-patter, hissy-fitty, whatever you want to call it, on Instagram. Now, I'm going to tell you who was right in the situation, and then we're going to go delve in a little bit deeper. So this is what happened, right? The NFL on Fox put out a poll, right? It was, which is tougher? Make a catch while guarded by Stephen Gilmore? I don't care how he says his name. And break up a pass while guarding Michael Thomas. So, Devante Parker, not even, saying, screw Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas sucks, blah, 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 this and that. He just says, A. He thinks it's harder to catch a pass on Stephen Gilmore than it is to guard Michael Thomas. Didn't poo-poo on Michael Thomas at all. Didn't even mention Michael Thomas's name. He literally just said A. All the man said was A. Because Devante Parker is Stephon Gilmore's daddy. Stephon Gilmore has last season gave up the most receiving yards in his career to Devante Parker. So Michael Thomas gets a little butthurt, comes out and says, "For you, yes, go run some numbers. Then you can talk. I lapped you, and you've been in the league longer than me, first rounder." I didn't look this up, but I want to know how Michael Thomas did against Stephen Gilmore. Not as good as Devante Parker, so he gets a little butthurt. Again, Devante Parker did not mention nor say. He literally just said A. Put some respect on Stephen Gilmore's name. Wasn't poo-pooing on Michael Thomas. Didn't say Michael. Just a straight A. A. Parker comes back. Got some hard feelings there, brother. Let me get targeted 300 times a game. Ain't wrong. He kind of wrong, but he ain't wrong. So then Michael Thomas comes back. In other words, you weak. They don't even put your name in the same sentence as me. Remember that. Also remember, Michael Thomas, that you've been in the league for about 4 years. Who have the Dolphins quarterbacks been probably the last 2-3 years? How's that offense been run in the past couple of years? You got Drew Brees. You had weapons around you to take off double coverage. But again, I'll talk about that in a second. Then he also says, "You still not going to do nothing. It took you 6 years and 17 weeks to have a good game. Get the F out of here. Blame your parents, not a quarterback." See, why? Again, Michael Thomas started this whole debate, this whole argument because he's a baby, and then he has to blame your parents. So then Devante Parker comes back. He says, "Quit crying, bruh," with the laughing emojis. He's just at this point. Devante Parker's like, "My dude, I put a letter down. I said A. I didn't even call you out. I didn't say A, can't guard Mike." Who has that as their Instagram name? Can't guard Mike. Yeah, you can't guard Michael Jordan. He's one of the best. He is the best basketball player of all time. You can't guard Michael Jordan. Good name. So quit crying, bro. I put a letter down. I said that one thing. I didn't call you out. I didn't say anything to you. You're a big crybaby and got all in your feelings because I think it's harder to be covered by Stephen Gilmore. And then he says, "You heard what I said. You heard what I said. I put your parents into this because I'm in the schoolyard." And Devante Parker said, I ain't hear shit, playboy. And then Michael Thomas said, you can't even get a seat at the table. So when it comes to this whole situation, I think it's funny. I think it's funny that Michael Thomas is such a baby, such a prima donna, such a hissy fit, boo-boo crying baby that he had to get all up in his feelings because Devante Parker put a letter down. He literally put A down, and Michael Thomas is all up in his feelings. And the funny thing is, if Devante Parker wasn't a threat, Michael Thomas probably wouldn't say anything. And then, I think it's also very funny, Michael Thomas then goes on Twitter, whose Twitter handle is still at Can't Guard Mike. He's a huge Michael Jordan fan, because you can't guard Michael Jordan. He's the greatest basketball player of all time. Don't at me. He puts a picture of himself in his tinted visor, very moody picture. And he says, being underestimated is part of being above average. Yes, you're underestimating Devante Parker a lot. So I guess, he's above average. You child, you big baby. So this, garnered and generated a ton of debate about Michael Thomas versus Devante Parker. This is where, like I said, the argument and starting the argument and being a big child and being a big baby, Michael Thomas lost that one. Be more mature, and just, if it bothered you that much, just ignore it. Trust me, I need to start learning to ignore some of the things that I have to deal with. Just ignore it, my man. Devante Parker put a letter down, and you got all up in your feelings. But then there's the whole debate. Dolphin fans started to, some of them, I'm not saying all of them, actually a minority, want to start comparing Devante Parker's 2019 season to Michael Thomas's 2019 season. And, you look at the stats, they both had 9 touchdowns, right? Michael Thomas had 1,725 yards. Devante Parker had 1,202 yards. Michael Thomas had about 523 more yards than Devante Parker. He said, let me get targeted 300 times, Devante Parker, right? Well, what he's talking about, he says a game, but we all know. Past 2 years, Michael Thomas, 2019, was targeted 185 times, and 2018 he was targeted 147 times, whereas Devante Parker for the first time was targeted 128 times in 2019. But that also has to do with, if you go look at the games started and the games played, Michael Thomas didn't miss much games, maybe 1 or 2 a season. Devante Parker is a horse of a different color. But a lot of people want to talk about, well, look at the touchdowns, 9. Yeah, that's a fantastic number. You get 72 receptions to 9 touchdowns versus 149 receptions to 9 touchdowns. And you're like, well, Devante Parker has a better ratio of touchdowns to receptions versus Michael Thomas touchdowns to receptions. Yeah. In a very finite, narrow, confined subject. But you look at the catching percentage. Last year, Michael Thomas had 80% catches. He was targeted 185 times, caught 149, 80%. The year before, targeted 147, caught 125, 85%. Devante Parker is 56.3 catching percentage. It ain't great. So, yes, when it comes to the argument, Devante Parker won. Devante Parker is right. Devante Parker is probably sitting back laughing. Michael Thomas, I didn't even mention your name. I didn't even bring you up in this conversation. I'm just giving props where props is due because, yes, I have to go against Stephon Gilmore twice a year. He is hard to get open on, but your boy did it multiple times. But when it comes to the argument of who's better, Michael Thomas or Devante Parker, come on, guys. It's Michael Thomas. I'm a diehard Dolphins fan. I love my team more than anything. They're tattooed on my arm. But it's Michael Thomas. He's got a better catching percentage, more yards. He's been more consistent. This is Devante Parker's first year in 2019, actually coming out, getting over 1,000 yards receiving, and hopefully building it so that go into the future, he just continues having over 1,000 yards receiving. And all of a sudden, we had to wait a few years for Devante Parker to get his stuff together. But now we have that receiver. But when it comes to the argument, Parker won. But if you really want to say who's the better receiver, it's Michael Thomas. You can't really, if you say it's Devante Parker, come on. But be sure to comment below. Let me know what you think. I want to know what you guys think about this argument. Do you think Michael Thomas is a huge man-child and he needs to grow up and get a backbone and stop letting things that have nothing to, well, it had something to do with him, but he wasn't brought up in it. Just let it go, man. Just let it go. Comment below. Let me know what you think. And I'm going to get to the comment of the day. And like I said, comment of the day, I got this package sent to me from Steven Jackson. He sent it to me from HSN. Don't know what it is, but let's see what it is. We've been, just so you guys know, with the quarantine and stuff, we've had to deal with UPS and trying to get it to me, and it's a pain. He sent me the tracking number so I can keep an eye on it and try to get it, because I was supposed to get this a while ago, and it was a pain in the butt because of what everything is going on. Inception. Boxception. 1 box. 2 box. Boxception. Number 2. Let's see what this is. Boogaloo. I don't know what I'm saying. Fully pulling it out. Dude, this is awesome. This is awesome. I'm going to have to find a place on the shelf to put it. Look at this. It's a solar light. It's got the solar panel on top. It's a solar light. Thank you so much, Andrew. This is really awesome. I think this belongs outside because it's got the solar panel on top, but I'm going to see if I can use the sunlight I got right now to charge this sucker up, because I want to see it light up. Thanks, Andrew. I greatly appreciate that. But that is the video. Be sure to go check me out. Follow me on Twitter. Like I said, been retweeting. I'm actually really close to having 2,000 Twitter followers. As of right now, I'm about 78 away. And also on Instagram, be sure to check me out on Instagram. I'm almost 200 away from 1,000 Instagram followers. So be sure to go over, check it out. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Help me get over 2,000 and 1,000 on those two. I think I get a special perk on Instagram if I get over 1,000. So if you can help me out, I greatly appreciate. Also, be sure to go check out my second channel. I'm putting out my first video now, bringing up some old cool stuff. So be sure to go check that out. The video should be out later today, or actually probably about 20-30 minutes after I put this video out. So be sure to go over, check it out. Hit the subscribe button if you like what you see. I'm almost over, I have over, I think 100 of you guys are over there now. So be sure, and also check out the Bit Boys, my gaming site. Greatly appreciate that. Other than that, give this video a thumbs up. Like I said, I got a lot planned. We need... it's kind of dead. Like you guys, like I said, if you haven't watched Vince Beagle's interview yesterday, he's talking about that they've been doing these these Zoom meetings and stuff. So they're doing meetings and they're getting accumulated with the playbook and stuff, but there's no on-field stuff. So it's kind of dead. It's kind of boring. So be sure to give this video a thumbs up. I got a lot planned, a lot more videos planned. Check out DolphinsTalk.com. Very great site. Ton of Dolphin content over there. So be sure to go check that out. Other than that, hit that subscribe button. Like I said, got a lot of videos planned. My Ricky Williams video is coming out this weekend. I got a video planned for you guys on Friday. Ton of videos, ton of work, and I never sleep. Some of you guys know I'm up till 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't sleep. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to hit the bell so you know when the videos or when I go live. Other than that, I will see you guys Friday with my next video. But like usual, stay classy. Fins up.